Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I'm just gonna give you an update on what's going on at the moment with Bitcoin dominance and USDT dominance. All of that, we're gonna contrast it with the performance of total 3 others, and we're gonna give you a general overview, high-level picture of where we are with the altcoins. I've done a little bit of that in the past few days, but this video is just gonna be specifically focused on the current state of arts on the altcoins. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Remember, I am in a quest to get 1,000 likes in a video. I guess my best chance is in one of the Bitcoin videos, but it's always appreciated if you can hit the like, write down a comment down below, and share with your friends all the goodies from this channel. Let's get into the content. When it comes to performance of the altcoins and potentially finding a bottom for this long-lasting bleed that we are going through, there's multiple angles that we can use to analyze the data. And I think at this point in time, I'm gonna focus on what I think is the most important data points. Some things are gonna be left out of this discussion to make sure that we just focus really on what matters. So we are going to cover Bitcoin dominance. Next, we are going to cover what's going on with the USDT dominance. I'll cover next total 3 and contrast it with the levels of support that we are seeing on others versus BTC. Number 1, yesterday we have a huge milestone, okay? We went beyond 61-62% and we actually pinched 64.22 on the Bitcoin dominance. If you are new in the market, if this is your first cycle, what you need to understand from Bitcoin dominance, it means that most of the cash is sitting on Bitcoin relative to the rest of the coins, including stable coins. And we've been on this ascending wedge, which is a bearish pattern. And what we are looking for is for eventually breaking down and entering into this area in here, which I call my potential altcoin season. Why is that? Because if we go there, basically the Bitcoin dominance from 64 rallying into 50 or 40%, that is very similar to what the dominance was doing in the best altcoin season so far in the history of crypto, which is this one from January 2021 at levels of 70% and stopping at 40. Caveat, at that point, we got at least 4 macroeconomy elements all aligned in the same direction of liquidity coming into the pockets of retail institutions all at once. Printing money, stimulus, quantitative easing, gold coming down, dollar coming down, and the list goes on and on. So what we are looking for in here is a rejection of that 64%, a strong rejection. So if we could close the weekly with a candle like this by itself, that looks very topping. And I have another card under the sleeve in here, which is if we do a similar analysis, but instead of looking at the actual dominance, we look at the RSI of the dominance. We're going to look into a few patterns. For example, this pattern of white, red, green, and then break down. And here is where you get the altcoin season. Indeed, from the actual green into this lower low, that is the most impressive altcoin season. After that, the Bitcoin dominance has been just climbing up in this ascending bearish wedge. Recently, around 20th of November, we broke down from this pattern. And since then, everybody, including myself, have been really never detaching my eyes from, are we going to get the altcoin season? Are we going to get the altcoin season? And that is because there is a breakdown. Unfortunately, there has been now higher lows and higher highs. So this seems to be a change in the structure. But the caveat is that we are approaching now a bearish pattern as resistance. The part that is very painful is that we are back inside. But hold on the horses. We are entering the pattern with a candle in progress. So yes, guys, this week has a crucial role for the altcoins. It's kind of a make or break situation. I know that there are many make or breaks situations in a smaller scale at lower time frames. But guys, here we are talking about the BTC dominance doing a make or break for a confirmation of a breakdown since 2021. Okay, so 4 years. So try to measure how big of an event is that, and if it gets confirmed and we can align some injections of liquidity that we are always tracking in this channel. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss those which are crucial confirmations, not just the technicals here. We need to put together some liquidity. Think about this. We need to cook a soup and we get the meat, we get the potatoes, but if we don't have water, what kind of soup are you gonna make with that? So let's be positive or naive if you want, and let's imagine that the Bitcoin dominance this week sees a rejection and instead of being above the white line, closes like this. To me, that will be a great indication that the wedge is rejecting the dominance. That level there is RSI, I call it 63, but now since we move so fast up, it's around 62. Going into the Bitcoin dominance, looking at the current value, you can see how time sensitive is what we are discussing now, because that level is 61.23%. Closing the Bitcoin dominance on Sunday below that with this sort of week going into 64% right at the resistance, it is super cool. Okay, if you are a fan of technicals, I love seeing that they're so precise, particularly because the actual dominance, it seems like it's breaking out from the top of the wedge, which is supposed to be bearish. But the RSI says, we are not really that high. The acceleration actually hasn't managed to even confirm re-entering into the structure. And that's why I love the RSI. It gives you a different perspective. So what happens if we close inside? If we close inside, we have a final line in descent of a rally into 73 RSI. That is not something I want to see, because probably getting that high in the dominance comes with a lot of additional pain. And that could be a dominance of almost 66%. So getting to that top resistance could be really painful. And that's why I'm monitoring this week. Where do we close? Do we close slightly inside, or we see a strong rejection, which is promising, very promising for altcoins. All right, we're going to look into the USDT dominance and we're going to get some insights again that should contribute to the overall picture of where we are standing at the moment with the altcoins. In a nutshell, I feel, my personal opinion is that we are very close to bottoming with the altcoins, okay? That with the caveat that the macroeconomy is very delicate at the moment and everybody's very reactive towards a potential crash in the markets. It happens very often actually, but at this point in time with the tariffs, that could escalate. So I'm gonna be fair, that really could escalate and create some new lows. But we are in an area of value that is incredible. We're gonna support that statement better when we go into total free and when we go into others versus BTC. All right. USDT dominance as a chart is impressive, okay? I love it, particularly because since 2018, we've been just bouncing off this trend line. And the last time we did it in November 2018, I was like, oh guys, we are at 4%. We're right there at the support. And that was already a very bullish move. In 18th of November, the market was starting to pick up. And it went for the first time in history of this trend line beyond that point. And at that point, I started looking into altcoin season, right? And I started saying, we could get an altcoin season from here because we are shifting into bullish. This is kind of the timing based on the seasonality of Bitcoin and all that narrative. And everybody went into the same trap together. And at that point, I look at what the USDT dominance was doing in that amazing top altcoin season in history. And basically, the dominance started falling from these highs of 4.8, and the actual altcoin season starts the moment the USDT dominance loses control. The breakdown takes us back into 2%. At that point, everybody was allocated in altcoins and there was very low percentage of allocation to USDT. That's what the chart is telling you. And all the time that you remain trading longs up until May of 2021, on most of the coins, it was mind-blowing. And what spoiled the party was the crash of Bitcoin, which caused the following thing to USDT, to go from 2 to 5.6. That crash took everything with it. Bitcoin 55%, altcoins 70s, 80%, huge crash, very painful, leverage, rinse 100%. So what I did was to take this picture, which is the overlap of what happened in this area in 2021, and overlap it with where we are from August 2024. And since we broke below the line, I tried to overlap the move on the expectation that since the moment we bottoming here, we could form some sort of channel like this, similar to the one in 2021, that we can follow as our potential altcoin season. And here's the funny thing. We have one out of the two things. We follow the channel, we continue producing precisely the channel that I wanted, but something went wrong. Where is the altcoin season? We spent in altcoin season in the index, literally, as you can see here, 1 week. That's it. Nothing else. We went back into 40s and 50s, and that's where we've been since we broke down early December. So extremely disappointed. And what the USDT dominance is telling us is that, yes, there is very little in USDT. So where is that? Well, it's going to BTC, okay? Part of it. Where is the rest of it? It went to USDC because in Europe, they're pushing away USDT. So we get the channel, but for different reasons. Now, what else happened that is very important? Last week, with the crash in the market on Monday, we pinch outside of the channel, okay? So this is our channel, and this is the resistance, and this is kind of what I was expecting. And I told you one thing to watch out for. Once you identify your channel, if the USDT dominance breaks out bullish like this, if we get here, we are already screwed. So we need to catch when we exit from the resistance. And what we were doing on Monday was precisely exiting and creating a candle green there that actually calls for this, right? Which is end of the dominance, the low dominance period. Luckily, we came back inside. So we are still inside this range. I set alerts if we are at the lows, because that means that we should consider taking profits. And when we are at these levels in there, assuming we don't break out to the upside, that could be bottoms for altcoins. And there's always this swinging up and down in the dominance. Very important to track it. On the RSI of the USDT dominance, we had a breakout on 16th of December. That was the breakout that spoiled precisely this. As soon as the USDT dominance broke out, we couldn't sustain the altcoin season. Since then, the breakout has been holding this support, okay? So what do we need from the USDT dominance together with what the Bitcoin dominance are doing? So if we want a full picture of how it looks, a great scenario for altcoin season, or at least for decent performance of altcoins, let's assume that there is no altcoin season or there is a diminished one, well, then we need rejection on Bitcoin dominance from these levels below my RSI of 62, 63 on a weekly basis on Sunday. And ideally, we want the USDT dominance to test this support and break below, okay? Let's move on to Total Free. Total Free has an incredible pattern on the RSI that I really love. This is how it looks, the RSI on Total Free, the whole history. And this is our bull market broadening wedge, okay? Every time we were at these lows, we called for we are bottoming. And we started saying what we need to be looking is to go into the target of the top of the global resistance. So we got resistance at 97, then at 94. In here, we didn't touch it in 2024. That was a huge rally. We actually almost topped there, like if we top for the full bull market of this cycle for Total 3. and I am expecting another rally in here. Whether we're gonna get to the top, assuming that in here we didn't get there, that is something we can challenge, and I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely expect from these levels another bounce, okay? Why is that? Because we have the lows of 45, we are protecting 49, and with all this bleeding that we had, we just made it to 54. So we kind of have a local support right there that we are currently defending for continuation. On the price, we have pinched the 840 two times, and the third time we went way beyond, but so far we are still at the levels of support. And here's the thing, total 3 includes Ethereum. Ethereum is a beast of market cap relative to other altcoins. Therefore, it has a dramatic effect in making a potential bull flag in here look bullish enough for continuation. Notice that we are right at support and we are kind of reclaiming the support, but again, weekly time frame closes on Sunday. So if we close on Sunday like this, we are right at the support at the moment, which is bullish. And last but not least, which is something that I already mentioned yesterday, but I'm going to include it in this video just to make sure that the video contains the full analysis. We close on others versus Bitcoin price right at the support. This week we are below the support. So this week is very important for us to confirm that we are at the lows, not just relative to the actual chart, right? So this is like being in here, the best time, support, 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 and now we are slightly below the support. So this week, actually this month, this is a monthly chart, has the responsibility now of reclaiming that support. And if we do, we are at the sweetest spot. And since this is a chart against BTC, for a flip into the altcoins. And it's been painful. You've been here, you've been entering altcoins and dragging down from these highs. That's a 44. So since 2023, this is just a structure that is looking for that support for a retest. And that definitely is painful. But all eyes here, because this is a critical level to watch. If my speculation is if we reclaim now this support, we should be seeing as well the RSI by the end of February pointing sideways or up. Notice as well that if we go into the whole history of this, there is no RSI that goes below 40, which is very interesting. And also notice how the momentum on the monthly is always been bleeding against Bitcoin. If you trade an altcoin, regardless of which cycle, yes, there are very impulsive moves. Yes, there are huge pumps, but the RSI tells you that the momentum is lost with every cycle against Bitcoin. That's regardless of Bitcoin also doing the same. Every cycle, RSI reaches lower levels on the monthly, that's true, but altcoins do it against Bitcoin, so therefore they bleed double. If you hold altcoins from 2017 or from 2021, you know how tough it is to break even on the next cycle. I have managed to do that with most of the coins which I consider myself super lucky. I did it with Tron, with XRP, and I still have my ADA and my Ethereum there waiting, hoping that I can exit in profit. What I don't want to see on this chart is that we end up February pinching the 40 on the monthly. That is going to leave me really hanging there and thinking, wait a second, what's going on? Because in this cycle, when you break the ladder down, you see that pinch there is basically bear market. This pinch in here is also part of, bad performance. So I don't want to see that pinch so early, particularly because that pinch usually comes after visiting the highs on the RSI. In here, you visit the high and then you start bleeding and then you go down one level in the ladder. Another high, November 2021, best performance of the altcoins against Bitcoin. Sure, then you enter bear market and you start going that low that you pinch once again, one level down. So you get the point. Getting in here so early before having done this and then doing it later, which will follow the schedule by the book, will be more than a word of caution. It will be like, what's going on really? We will continue to monitor all of these indicators. This is a video to have a general high-level overview of where are with the altcoins. In general, my perspective is that this is an opportunity, and if I'm right on this one, everybody is gonna look at this chart and go back in the future and say, I wish I was that lucky guy that was buying at support. Most of the people are gonna buy tops and get dumped later on in 2025. Unfortunately, that is the ugly truth. Guys, if you want to trade altcoins and get access to the most extensive list of altcoins, not just on spot, but also with leverage, my preference is to have an account on both OKX combined with Bybit. Why? Because then I get access to all the altcoins I want and all their different products. If you use the links in the description to open an account on either of them, you're gonna get big bonuses. Bybit is currently offering 30,000 and OKX 60,000 based on trading volume. By using those links as well, you reduce the fees to the minimum. And if you want to stay away from those two, which are requiring KYC to be able to use it, you can go for one of my non-KYC exchanges. I've got great bonuses as well, starting with Bluffing, a mind-blowing 100,000 based on deposit and trade volume, and 30,000 with 2bit. All the links are in the description, and this does support the channel to continue sharing this type of content. So thanks so much for using an account with one of these links. Hit the like, write down a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.